Alright, today we're going to talk about Samsung's K3 MP3 player. Now, if you've seen my other review on this, you know this is one of my favorite MP3 players. Really easy to use, just very stylish. And somebody's trying to mimic it. There's this, the MP3-4. You see the Samsung box is a little bit more stylish and considerably smaller from every end. And this, you can't tell who made it because there's no markings on it saying who actually made the MP3-4. It's just a generic big black box. Let's take a look at the actual units, see what they look like. And from the front, they're almost identical. Both black, both you got the silver lining around them, and they both have the 1.8-inch LCD on them. You flip them on the side, you can see the K3 it's about 2-3 millimeters thinner than this thing, the MP3-4. Also, the differences are you can feel the K3 is a little bit heavier. That's because it's made out of stainless steel. The MP3-4 is made out of a really cheap plastic material that it kind of feels like pieces are going to fall off of it, and I'm kind of scared to hit the buttons on it. And you flip around the Samsung K3, you can see you got like your product coding and all that. And Samsung, I don't know if you can see on the video, but it says Samsung on the back in black. It's real understated. Now on the MP3-4, you've got a sticker that says 1 gigabyte, and you've got a piece of black tape, I guess. No indication actually who made this. When you're going around more, you can see you got the touch pads on here, so you don't have many buttons in the front of either one of them. It's the same. On the K3, you've got your power and hold button built into one. Got your hold button, power button on the MP3-4. Very similar, probably very similar looking in the video, but when you're up close to them, you can kind of tell there are differences. This is a really cheap feeling one. Let's take a look at the actual interface and see how they look. Alright, to start off looking at the interfaces, we got to turn them on. Here's the K3, starting up. The MP3-4. See the buttons on them look almost the same, except the K3's clearer looking. And it started up. We're still waiting for the MP3-4. Here we go, got a really choppy video. Now the K3 starts off automatically with the music menu for you. Let's go back to the main menu. Now the K3, it's not as much stuff going on the menu as on the MP3-4, but it's cleaner looking. It's more fashionable, more stylized than the MP3-4. We got music. Tap it a little bit. Go to the FM radio, photo viewer, text viewer, settings, back to music. Really smooth. Just tap it and it does what you want to do. Click up and down, change the volume for you. And to go into a menu, tap the enter button. Goes right in. You can always hit the back button and cycle through things. Go back to where you want it to be. You can also put your music into folders, which makes it a lot easier to sort through so you don't just have a bunch of music hanging around. Now let's take a look at how the MP3-4 operates. Alright, now you've got the menu here on the side. So you figure your up and down is going to make it move. It doesn't. It took me a while to figure this out too. You gotta tap the side button to make it go up and down, which is really not logical at all, unlike the K3. Let's see which menus we've got on here. Music, movie, a recorder, play, radio, text, pictures, games, settings, and back to music. The photo viewer on here is just really not any good. And the games on it, it's got games, which the K3 didn't, but they're really hard to get used to and play with the controls. Then we go into a menu. You hit the enter button, doesn't work. You gotta hit the menu button and wait. And wait. There we go. You hit the play button, you end up someplace else, just telling about the song. Hit the back button. Yeah, hit it a couple times to get it to work for some reason. You try to cycle through Sometimes you gotta hold the button for a while for it to work on here. Alright, let's go back. So the back button doesn't really work. Okay, you gotta hold the menu button for a while before it goes anywhere. You gotta hold it like 2 or 3 seconds, and it's kind of strange figuring that out. Sometimes you'll hit a button on here and it doesn't work, and sometimes you won't hit a button and it will activate something you didn't want it to do. So it's really not too good. Now the MP3-4 has some options the K3 doesn't have, like games. I won't try to go through these games and play. They're really hard to control. The button configuration is the same as it is on everything else in this MP3 player. It just doesn't work properly. Let's see what else we got. We got movies on here too. Now the movies are about as smooth running as the little motion graphic they got on there. They're not running at a normal frame per second rate. They're running at like 15 or something. It looks incredibly choppy, so you don't really know what you're looking at. And the thing shuts off every couple seconds on its own. It's very hard to maneuver anything on this menu, and once you get into it, it's really just difficult. You got the FM radio like you do on the K3, except the FM radio on the MP3-4, all you get is static out of it. I haven't actually heard a station on it. Text viewer and the photo viewer on the K3 is much clearer. Now the K3 menu is a lot more understated and stylish. It does have the color screen on it for photo viewing. The MP3-4, it's all color, but it's not high quality color, so they should have just toned it down a little bit. Let's finish it up. So that pretty much wraps it up for the Samsung K3 and then the no-name MP3-4. Just to recap on it, you got the great sound quality of the K3, and then you got the very noisy, bad sound quality of the MP3-4. You do have a couple more features on here that the K3 doesn't have, but they don't really work right or they look horrible, so I guess it doesn't really matter if there's extra features on it. This is only 1 GB. Also, the MP3-4 is only 1 GB as the only marking on the package shows. And this is the 2 gig Samsung K3. They both are stylish, I guess, because this one ripped off the K3. And the MP3-4 comes at a very, very cheap price, which is nice if you want to buy something that's really not all that good. You don't want to spend a lot of money for it. But I suggest you go with the K3. It's still a great MP3 player. Until next time, see you later.